something called HTML5 semantic structure element. That means in HTML5, what is the structure and what are the elements we have? Okay. So semantics is the study of meaning of words and phrase in the language. Okay. So the semantic element will clearly describe its meaning for the both the browser and as well as developer. So browser is nothing, you can say as a users, and for the developer it's give a meaning, okay, for the browsers and developer. The example is that, so for non-semantic elements like division and span, whenever you going to use division and span, tells nothing about it content because you are not writing anything, just you are defining the division tag. Okay. For semantic, that means you are going to create the form, you are going to create the table, you are going to create the article. Whenever you create these elements, and these elements are called as semantic elements, so it will define that content, what content in that form. That means you are going to submit something, that means through the browser you are going to submit to the server end, but here it's just display, only content will be there, nothing more than about. But here you will be having table which will be displaying the information, article you will be highlighting this, but here just a paragraph or a span will be there, that's all. So these are the two semantic and non-semantic elements we have. So when we talk about in HTML5, whatever we have used earlier, okay, so this all comes in the normal, you have used whatever the tags, paragraph tag, this all tags in simple HTML element. But when we are talking HTML5, that means its semantics will come. What are those elements? So in HTML5, we have several, that is semantic element. What are those semantic elements? You can see, understand with the diagram. Okay. Whenever we create any web page, okay, then every web page will be having header. That means in header, what will be there? Your menu bar will be there. Navigation, that means comes in the navigation also. You can use slider. Okay. Header means on the top it will defining. Now if you want to define any section, like you want to define the complete body into two part, one is the two rows and one column, two column, and here like this way, one section, one article and one footer. If you want to define this was not possible into the HTML. You have to write the code, and the page will not look good, attractive. To make that, we have come across with the HTML5. That is your coming through with this bootstrap, and responsive will come. Okay. The new website content, the code, what you are going to use, you'll be using something called as id nav. Okay. That means it, it will specify, that means what division you have used. That means this division, this new division is going to use for the navigation. So this is going to use selector. Okay, you are going to specify id is equal to navigation. That means what css you will define, accordingly this will take. Similar way, division class is equal to header, division id is equal to footer. That will indicate your navigation, header and footer. Similarly, we have several other HTML5 semantic elements, that is the article, aside, details, fig caption, that means figure caption, that means picture when you are using and you want to give the caption on that, that means title below that. Then figure you want, footer, header, main, mark, nav, section, summary and time. These are the semantic elements in HTML5. As we have seen that section, so these section elements will define the section in the document. Okay, whatever that means in the entire HTML, what you are defining. Like a home page could normally will be splitted into several sections, as you have seen that whatever you want, like you want introduction, you want content, you want contact information, how you want to segregate the similar way. So that's why we will be defining here as a section. Okay. article element, that means if you have any article you want to specify an element, that a specific independent self content should be there. That means the content what you are going to define, it should define self, it's not any other information required. That means that time you have to use the article. The example, like whenever we create forum post, blog post, newspaper article, you have seen that several website blog post, that means in article people will be writing article, and with the content what they are writing, that means self descriptive will be there. It will define the entire things, okay. And so there they will be using article. Newspaper, when you write, you see that newspaper article will be little, when you click on more then it will describe the entire element, so it doesn't depend on other elements. So these places will be using the article element. Then header element, whatever you want to define the specify into the header section, the like document or section, then you have to define in header, and this header element should be used as a container. That means you are going to have JavaScript file, CSS file, this all you are going to define into the header section. Then footer, you have seen in several websites, like on the bottom it will be written this website is copyright by this blah blah whatever this and so on. So that means you have to define the footer. So footer element will specify the footer for a document or section. This footer element should contain information about the containing elements, and typically this like author, document, copyright information, term and condition, some contact information will be there on any of the website. Clear? Okay, when you open any of the website, you will see on the this is called, this section is called as footer. You can see here design and maintained by whatever the name, home, all rights, some term and condition you can specify. You can see any website whichever you want. Even if you can open facebook.com, you can see, come to the below, you can see sign up, login, messenger. This complete section is called as footer section. It will come in the footer section. Header section, this section what you are seeing, this is navigation, okay. And this entire what you are seeing, the slider, everything, this all are the section which has defined here. Slider section is there, then content you are defining, then accordingly you can define. So this, now we are coming into the HTML5 based website. Now open for the question.